Silkworm insect. The silkworm insects, Bombyx mori, produce silk by feeding on mulberry plants. This species has one generation in a year in Pakistan. But in India and Bangladesh, the silkworm moths have 2 or 3 generations in a year. The larvae of silkworms feed on mulberry leaves. They become pupae and form a silky cocoon on pupal body produced by the saliva from their mouth parts. When these cocoons are put in hot water and the threads of silk appear clearly. Those threads are rolled and used for commercial purpose. The silkworm industry is named as sericulture. Biology of silkworm and how the silk is produced. The silkworm, Bombyx mori, is a creamy white moth, about 2 inches across the open wings. It takes no food and lives only 2 to 3 days, but lays 300 to 500 eggs. The eggs are yellowish white, semi-spherical, about 1 milligram in weight. The silkworm larvae are best reared at 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and at this temperature they can molt at 6 to 26 days after hatching. The whole larval stage is completed in 42 days and the full-grown larva is about 3 inches in length and about 6 grams in weight. During this period, a larva consumes about 90 grams of mulberry leaves. The larva spins a cocoon formed from a continuous thread of silk from 800 to 1,200 yards long and weighing 0.4 to 2 grams, which requires about 3 days to complete. In this cocoon, the larva pupates and emerges after 10 to 12 days as the adult moth by softening one end of the cocoon by an alkaline secretion which enables it to break through the strands of silk. About 3,000 cocoons are needed to produce a pound of raw silk. Sericulture is a highly organized and specialized profession in the silk-producing countries, and the silkworms are fed and tended from egg to cocoon very carefully. Selected cocoons are allowed to mature, and the moths are bred and the females are allowed to lay their eggs in small sterile cloth bags. For the production of silk, the cocoons are treated about 8 days after spinning. By steam or dry heat to kill the insect and prevent the destruction of the continuous fiber by the emergence of the moth. The cocoons are then carefully dried, and the loose outer threads are removed. The cocoons are then soaked in warm water to soften the gum that binds the silk threads together and skillfully unwound by expert operators. The threads from several cocoons are wound together on wheels to form the reels of raw silk. Only 1/2 of the silk in each cocoon is reliable, the remainder is used as silk waste and formed into spun silk. The raw silk is boiled, steamed, stretched, purified by acids or by fermentation, washed and re-washed to remove the gum, and finally combed and untangled. The silk fibers spun by silkworm is formed from the secretions of the paired salivary, labial, glands which are opened on the labium. During the growth of the larva, these glands fill with clear viscous liquid when extruded from the glands. This secretion forms the two cores of fibroin, a tough, elastic, insoluble protein which comprises 75% of the weight of fiber. And these are cemented together by sericin from the middle of glands, a gelatinous-like protein which is readily soluble in warm water. Thanks for watching.